Alright, good evening everyone. So I'm gonna go over cooking a piece of meat I haven't tried yet. We're going to cook and prep a brisket, a flat cut brisket, and I'm gonna smoke it on the 217 pellet grill that I have. And so I'm gonna start tonight with seasoning it up. This is a 7 pound flat cut brisket straight from the store. Didn't have them trim it, still in its cryovac. So I've heard a lot of different ways of people telling you to do it. Some say take some of the fat off. I've seen some people say take most of all of the fat off. Uh, I'm gonna take some. I'm not gonna take all of it off, and then I'm gonna season it with this twisted Texas Bold brisket rub. It's recommended, so I'm gonna use that on here tonight. So got a couple knives here. I've got a standard kitchen knife that I like to use, one of my favorites. I've got two different fillet knives. I got a smaller one and then my all-time favorite, which is my big 9-inch Bubba blade. I use this for filleting my fish, but I'm hoping that'll help. One of these will work best with this fat. So we're going to get into this. So this first part of the video tonight is just going to be the preparation of the brisket for the smoking. I am actually prepping this. It's Thursday. I'm going to prep this today. And I'm not going to smoke it till Sunday, or like early Sunday morning for Sunday afternoon. Got family coming over, so I'm going to let it sit in the fridge for 2 days seasoned up. So try to make it as neat as possible for the video, not have stuff everywhere. So we'll get to work here. I've got a bag here to put the extra fat trimmings on. So I've watched many a meat cutter trim meat. This whole top layer here, just that extra fatty outer part. I'm gonna see if I can turn it so you can see it. You can see that, and I'm not looking to leave all that on there. We'll take some of this off. You do, I think, from the history of I've cooked and seen stuff, you do want to have some fat on there to help keep that meat juicy. Otherwise, it could be too dry. So we're gonna just kind of hack away at this. Get some of this fat off here. A lot of it, depending on how close you get, it'll just peel off. I suppose if you're making your own ground meat with deer, you might want to keep some of this fat. I'm not keeping it. I don't have any deer meat, but so we're just going to trim it. Try and get a good layer of the fat off. I don't do this every day. This will be the first brisket I've ever cooked. If you watch any of my videos, I did the corned beef that I smoked on the 2.7 pellet grill. That came out very good. So I'm interested to see how this is going to come out. You don't want to get that. That's a mistake there. You don't want to get that meat off there. You just want to get some of this fat off. I did sharpen the knives before I started the video just to kind of help out with the cutting. So it's good to have a good sharp knife. You can see that that's a lot of good thick layer of fat there. So here, it's not too bad there. I'll put a lot of this off here, a lot of fat there. And it's not most eye appealing on some of it. It's right under the skin there. So I'm thinking when I cook this on that 217 smoker, My goal is going to be to probably leave it on the smoke setting a little longer. I have not really done that, and I'm wanting to get a good smoky flavor out of this meat. So we're going to seek to do that this time. Try to leave that setting on there, but when I do it and I cook it, I'll go over it with you and kind of tell you what I did, and then we'll let you know what it tastes like. So, and you kind of just want to do this to wherever you're at. Like I said, some folks don't trim anything off. They're going to leave it all. And others I've seen where they were saying that take most of it off. So you just want to have some on there that you can get that'll help melt through that meat and into that meat. So just don't want it all there. Hopefully I don't take off too much. I think some of this I'm probably just going to leave most of that. I'm not going to get into cutting that off. This I can probably cut. I should have done this on my cutting board, but I did it on this pan because I don't want meat juice all over the counter. It's late at night and I'm getting ready to go to bed when I'm done with this. So. And yes, I know I'm supposed to be cutting away from myself. You never want to cut toward yourself for the sake of that knife slipping, especially after you sharpen them. So, all right, let's see here. Take a little of this off right here. It's been nice to watch some butchers cut away at meat over the years. I think that kind of helps sometimes when you're doing stuff like this. Of course, they'd probably tell you I did everything wrong, so. Alright, so I think overall I'm pretty happy with that. Took a lot of that extra fat off there. Like I said, I wasn't taking it all off, just some of the extra thick stuff off there, just to kind of help it out a little bit. So here's our meat. Let me move this a little bit. Here's our piece of meat. Probably took, I don't know, third of a pound, quarter pound, half pound of fat. I'll take that off. That comes right off. Take a lot of this fat off on this side. And then, like I said, when I cook it, actually go to cooking it on the smoker, I'll walk you through in the video the steps and what I did. Again, everyone has a different way of doing it. So I'm going to try perhaps a combination of the things that folks have said, and we'll see how it turns out. So. Okay, so I'll be happy with that. Like that, I didn't end up using all the other knives, but I had them anyways. So I'll pause the video, wash my hands, and then get back here and show you what we'll do. Alright, so again, I'm using this Twisted Texas Bowl brisket rub. It's recommended again, so we're gonna put this on there. Even on this package, it says to get rid of the hard fat. So we're going to put this on there. I'm not necessarily going to follow a certain level that they tell you to do, but I definitely want to get a good flavor on the meat. So we're going to put a generous amount on here and we'll season every side of it. I suppose someone could say you could overdo the seasoning, but I also want it to taste good. So we're going to let this sit, like I said, though, in the fridge for probably 2 days. So that'll give it plenty of time to kind of settle into the meat, help stick to it, and become part of it. And that way when it smokes, it'll be sit on there pretty well. I'll flip this over. I'm going to leave it in the container that I'm going to put in. I should have done it the other way first, but I'm going to leave this side down, I think. I can always add some seasoning to it. Some folks say they'd use a pepper and salt mix. So, all right. Okay. So I'm thinking that's going to be pretty good there. Let's see how well it's stuck. Now you can see it's already kind of blending well with the meat. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Just satisfaction, I guess. Alright, so anytime I cook a rib roast or anything like this, if I can, I definitely like to season it, let that seasoning sit on the meat for a couple days, or at least a day. It always helps. So I'll put this in my glass container, which is probably barely big enough, but I gotta have it in something to keep in the fridge. And move the camera here, and there's it is right there. So it fits that whole casserole dish, and we've got that seasoned up. So we're gonna stick that back in the fridge, let it sit there, and then when we get to cooking it, I'll show you what I plan to do, the settings on the grill, and we'll take it from there. All right, good evening, everybody. This is, I think it's about 1:15 in the morning, and I'm gonna start my smoking tonight. So I've got my 217 pellet grill out here, and we are going to smoke a brisket. As you saw earlier, I had it shown prepped and ready to season. We trimmed the fat, seasoned it up, and then I'm going to start this tonight and get it on the smoker. So I'll get it over here and show you what we've got and the plan for smoking this. Alright, so I've got my brisket here. I want to show you what I've got. Looks massive on this camera. It's a 7-pound brisket. I trimmed off the fat and seasoned it up with that seasoning. And I've got the 217 pellet grill. So we're going to place this on the grill, and from everything I personally have read, they want you to put the fat down. It's kind of opposite of what I've been told with cooking certain other meats like a rib roast, but well, rib roast you put the ribs down, but in this case you want the fat side down, unlike perhaps some other meats or something else you might have been told. So we're going to do that. We're going to put the fat side down on there. I've got it ready to go. We've got the smoker, so I'm going to zoom in here for you and clear it up. There we go. I've got it on the smoke setting, as you can see, the dial. It's currently at 150, and there is smoke coming out of the stack. I think you might be able to lightly see the smoke there. So I'm going to leave it on the smoke mode, which actually may cause this to extend the cook time by quite a bit. I'm not 100% sure. I'm having to do this on the porch tonight due to the fact that it's raining here tonight. So I'm gonna put it on the grill and then go over a couple other things, and then we'll check out early in the morning and see where we're at. All right, so I've got the brisket on there. I'm gonna close this up in a moment so we can get the heat, but I just kind of want to show you I've got it on there. You can see more or less the fat side is down. It's seasoned up real good. Might have been able to even put more on there, I'm not 100% sure, but it sat in the fridge for 2 days, so I think that's going to help it. So I'm going to close this up to let the heat temperature get back up. As you can see, I left that open for 2-3 minutes, and the temperature dropped good 40 degrees, so 45 degrees. So you definitely want to keep that lid shut. That's why they don't want you constantly in and out of the smoker, because you lose all that heat. Now later, when I deem the time is proper, I'm going to wrap it up in some meat butcher paper here. It's what they say to do when the meat gets to about 150 degrees internal temperature, to wrap it. Take it off, wrap it, and then put it back on to finish it. That way the juices stay in there and helps keep it juicy. So we're going to see how this works out. We'll see where we're at in the morning and what we're going to look like for getting this cooked. So I'm going to leave it on that smoke setting. My wife is wanting to get some smokier tasting meat, so I'm going to try that. So we'll update you here in the morning. I'm probably going to check it about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and see what it looks like. And we'll put this all together. But excited about it. We'll see what kind of meat we get out of this. I've really wanted to do that with this grill. Everyone said it was a good grill, and I've liked it so far. But I really want to see if we can get a smoke flavor out of the meat. So I will tell you, I do have the bag right here. Sorry that it's kind of mangled, but I believe I also got these pellets from Rural King. This one I think was Griller's Gold, I believe is what it was called. Yeah, right here, Griller's Gold. And it's maple, hickory, and cherry wood in there. So we'll see what that does for me. I think I've got some hickory as well if I need more, but the hopper's full and we're good to go. So we'll come back and visit this and update you on where we're at. Alright, just want to welcome you all back. It is, I think, about 4 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. And check out the grill here. As you can see, it's sitting at about 170 degrees. Got a good smoke coming out of there. This says we're at about 134. Might be about as low as that thing measures, I don't know. My goal right now in checking is just to see what it looks like inside. I may get it off that setting of smoke and onto the cooking. Let's take a quick peek. As I can tell you right now, definitely by looking at it, it is mainly just soaking in some of that smoke setting that we have the grill onto, and I don't want to be out all night and miss out, so I'm going to go ahead and move this dial to the 225 setting. That'll give that time to get the thing up to temperature. Go ahead and let it go there. So I'll check back here in a little bit in the morning and see how progress is. As you can see, we're definitely not doing a whole lot of cooking, which you wouldn't sitting at a low temp like that. That meat looks great. All right, we'll be back. All right, good morning. We're back to check on our brisket. I'm going to show you right now. It's holding at a temp at 215. It is at a setting of 225, but I do have rain out here. So in here, though, the box says it's about 240. So you see we got some smoke coming out there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is check temperature on the brisket, see where we're at as far as the temp of the meat. Got my digital thermometer with me, and then we're gonna find out what we're gonna do next. So sorry about the camera there, but I'm gonna open it quick. I don't want to leave this open for many reasons, but look at that. It's got a nice crunchy outside. All right, so we are right at the temperature where they say you want to wrap it. So this is perfect. Probably take another 3 or so hours. Instead of about 160, 170. Not going to crank it up, but we are going to take it off. We're going to wrap it, and then we're going to put it back in. All right, so I've taken the brisket off, and I've got it in here on this butcher paper. But I just wanted to show you how it's kind of like sweating. This is exactly what they said where this meat needs to be before you wrap it up. So I've got 2 pieces of paper here, kind of overlaid, so I can wrap it up. And they said to tuck everything underneath the side so it'll hold it down. So we're going to go ahead and do that and say if you've done it right, you're good to go. So we're going to do that and pack it up and then get it back on the grill. All right, so I've got it wrapped up And this, what I did is I flipped a piece of meat over. So this is actually the top now, so that'll hold the bottom down. So I'm gonna put that back on the grill. Should take about another 2 or 3 hours, and we should get it right to be the temperature we want. And then we'll cut it and show you what it looks like. All right, so I've taken the brisket off, and now we're gonna take it from here. We're gonna place it into the cooler, and we're gonna let it rest in there for about 2 hours, somewhere in that ballpark. I'll place it right in there, and place a lid right on it, and that's gonna help it rest and finish cooking. So when we take it out and we're done, we'll slice it up and let's take a look.
You know what? I'm your mother's mother.
Cut one more and then you can. Okay, now I want you to pause it. Look how tender that is. Look at that. Oh man, that thing is like perfect. I almost want to take the slicer out and slice it.
Maybe you should. You want me to pull it out?
Okay, stop it. Hello everyone. So I wanted to do a quick recap on this video that you've watched that I did cooking my brisket on the 217 pellet grill. And the brisket I did turned out phenomenal. I didn't get to show you the video of me cutting it with the good knife. The knife I had turned out to be real dull, and that's why it didn't cut very well. I ended up using a better knife, and it cut real good. Tasted phenomenal. Everybody ate it up within like 10 minutes of me setting it out. So what I did is just to recap, I cooked it on the 217. We set the cycle. We started off in the smoke mode. I put it on at 115 or 130, and it cooked till about 4:30. And then I set the temperature to 225 from about 4:30 to 9. And then I pulled it off at 9 o'clock, wrapped it up in butcher paper, put it back on the grill till about 2 o'clock. And then I pulled it off, put it in a cooler, and let it sit till about 4:30, which is when I took it off. And then we served it, and it was phenomenal. Tasted really good, cut really well, had a nice smoke ring as you could see from the pictures, and so it turned out really well. And I kind of just wanted to review that. It worked really well. Was very pleased with the way the grill worked and smoked. I had never cooked a brisket before. It was very easy. Highly recommend the pellet grill for that, and makes for a real good easy cook. And so that's what I did. That's basically the time frame. It was about I think it was a 7-pound brisket, if I remember correctly. So you have an idea. And we cooked it on the 217 pellet grill. Turned out real good. So I highly recommend the grill. Highly recommend cooking a brisket on it. Very easy. Use that rub. I don't remember what it is, but I had it. I showed that earlier in the video. And so it's a big hit, and I highly recommend it. As you even see in the video, well, you couldn't see because I didn't get to show. We filmed it, but it didn't come out. As you got further into it, it started like just slowly falling apart. It's really good, really tender. So anyways, just wanted to go over that, and hope you all enjoyed the video and then the what we went over. And I recommend the grill highly. And I plan to do it again. I can't wait to do another brisket. Wait for them to go on sale and cook another one. So I appreciate your watching. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe. I like to do cooking stuff and little projects around the house and so forth. So maybe you'll enjoy some of the other videos. So thanks for watching.